In differential equation, we look at the question, then we look the kind of rule we need to use. So this question, this type of question, we are going to use the power rule. Power rule because of the exponent. When we say power, it means it carries an exponent. So let's solve question 1. What function is? Let's take like x is equal to x cubed. Alright, so to differentiate x is ds over dx. Our x is the independent variable. Our s is a dependent variable. You see that I'm keeping on saying y because we normally say we say dy over dx. That's why I was saying y. But for this kind of question, the function here is not y is what? S. So the x over the x. And in power rule, the formula is n to the independent variable, that's x n minus 1. So n is equal to the what? The exponent. Then the x over the x, n is the exponent, which is equal to what? 3. So when you manipulate this rule, we bring it here. The formula says, it's not necessarily be a formula, but it's a relation where you say the relation is what? N, which is the exponent, times x, which is the independent variable, to the power n, that's the exponent, minus 1. That was a general rule for power rule. Okay, so when we take this one in instance, we say the exponent is 3. Then we say 3x, and n is what? 3. So 3 minus 1. We get 3x. When we subtract 1 from 3, we get 2. Alright, this is the final answer. Let's get to question 2. Question 2, it has power rule, 2 functions. This one is function 1, and this one is what? Function 2. So let's say this function is y equal to 2x squared plus x. At first it was x, that was a dependent variable, but now this one is y. That's what dependent variable for question 2. This means you can change to x, you can change to y, or you can change to any variable depending the one given. And this one will go by dy because the main function is respect, or the main function is what? For y. So dy over, and the independent variables here is x, so dx. Then we put it this way: 2x squared plus x. The power rule says multiply this one by this one. Multiply this one by this one. So it says 4x, and subtract 1 from the power, which is what? 1. And when you differentiate any variable, when you differentiate an independent variable which has a coefficient of 1 and it has a power of 1, it is what? 1. Let's take this one alone and work it here. Why am I saying this? X is equal to, the coefficient here is 1, the power here is 1. So it says n x n minus 1. The power here is 1. The coefficient 1 is 1. So when you say n the power is what? 1. So when you multiply the power by the what coefficient is still 1 into bracket. The power here is 1. So 1 minus 1. We still have 1 here. X to the power 1 minus 1 is x to the power 0. Alright. So 1 times x to the power 0. Any number or any variable to the power 0 is 1. And our 1 times 1 gives us 1. So straightforward, for time's sake, when you get a variable to the exponent of 1 with a coefficient of 1 and you are differentiating, it gives us what? 1. In case it was 2x, this time around the coefficient is what? Is 2. So it still gives us what? 2. That's it. If the coefficient were to be 4x, it will just give us what? 4. So when you differentiate any variable to the power 1, it gives us the coefficient. That's all. Thank you.